Good
Good
morning.
morning.
So that actually worked out all right. I had to check and see. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our last episode of the year in the sense that we have now done 52 episodes. So, we've done a full year for you guys. Um,
Woot.
I know, right? Crazy town. So, today we decided to sort of slip on back to the beginning and talk about affiliate marketing for non-techies. And, how to get started when you're really just, you know, it's okay to be a Luddite. It happens, right? We're not all super tech. And Luddite sounds like it's this terrible thing, but really it's not. It just means that you're not tech savvy, and that's all right, as
Yep.
long as you're willing to learn, right? Because you are going to need tech eventually. So,
You are, but it's not as daunting as it sounds.
no. So, you want to start with the first step?
Yes. So, first step is your online presence, right? So, this was what I struggled with because I didn't have a TikTok or an Instagram or anything. I only had a Facebook that was, just friends and had no idea how to utilize social media to make money. So, you need that digital home base, which means you need to have an online presence across multiple platforms. You should have one that you're absolutely, crazy about, and then a couple that you're cross posting to. Now, there's a couple of different ways to set it up as well. You can do pages if you don't want to do, if you don't want your profile itself to be your main thing, or there's other ways to do it. I would say if you already have an old profile, though, the older the account, the better.
Yeah.
But if you really just don't want to, if you don't have one that's just friends and family, I'd recommend actually starting a page and having your page be friends and family, and using the profile as your home base. But Facebook's obviously an easy one to start with. Instagram and TikTok, though, are not that hard either. And then use your bio and captions to share your links, but you got to make sure there's context, and you got to make sure that you're not spamming links everywhere. Facebook does not push posts that take people away from Facebook, so posts with links are not going to get pushed as much as authentic posts.
For that,
And
you
then, of
would
course,
just dump your link in the comments instead of actually in your post so that you can at least,
yeah. And then, of course, post consistently.
yeah, yeah. And then the other option that you can do is like a website or a blog. Now, websites can sound really daunting. You don't necessarily have to have a website, but even a link tree is considered a website, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just need a landing page, somewhere for people to go. So Wix is a drag and drop. Squarespace is a drag and drop. Linktree is super simple. It gives you the platform, like the little image that you can use, and then you can hook up your links. It's very simple to follow. They all have fairly good instructions as well. It used to be called WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. But really it's just drag and drop, right? And because lots of people are starting to get online, but don't necessarily have all the technical know how to do it. So they've taken some of that out, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to do a blog, simple places like Medium, which is a blog platform where you don't have to do anything but write, really. And you can learn as you go on how to add in stuff. Like there's like the little things, little pop up menus so that you can add different things to, spice up your blog or whatever. And if you're doing that, you can even build your email list that way as well. Oh no, not email list. And it's like that's a really simple one because as people subscribe to your blog, they have the option to also get an email to them, and then you can actually download that information. So
Yeah. And then you also can use your blog too to redirect to your social medias and stuff like that and help those grow.
yep,
So,
and then it's another place where you can do write-ups about the different products or services that you have. You don't want it just about that, but it certainly can be that way, and you can drop your affiliate links in there. Plus, it's
yep.
evergreen, which is always nice.
Yes. And YouTube, of course, we talked about last week, but YouTube is also a really great way to get started for free. You don't need a website because it's already hosted on a website. Your titles, your SEO, and your thumbnails are going to become really, really important. That's where, again, free tools like vidIQ and whatnot come in handy. Or even having like ChatGPT help you write sort of YouTube description. I apologize, my dogs are going crazy. But yeah, YouTube's a great one for affiliate links. Just make sure you're putting, like, if it's an Amazon link, put behind it that it's an Amazon link. Make sure you're disclosing, of course, on all of these platforms with their
Yeah.
affiliate links, just because you want
Yeah.
to stay compliant.
If you're going to put affiliate links out there, you do have to disclaim it. And it doesn't matter what platform or what type of thing that you use to do that. And you had mentioned Chat GPT. Now that can be very daunting for some people, but really it's actually quite simple. Just log in and start talking to it. Just
Hmm.
tell it what you want. And then there are different areas where you can get some information. Like there's Facebook groups that are AI dedicated to help you on prompting. There's Instagram accounts that are the same. I'm sure there's probably TikTok and YouTube as well, where, that's all they talk about is how to set up prompts and stuff. And you just keep notes, copy and paste,
Hmm.
keep notes, figure out what works for you. So the next thing is organizing your affiliate links, right?
I
Just like
love
your
this one. I'm sorry.
and you never know, right? Because you're going to start collecting them. You're going to have stuff where all of a sudden like for me, I actually I save them all. Like I star them all and then I save them on a folder in my whatever tabs, like my history or bookmarks. That's it. I bookmark the pages all in a single folder so that I have like my social media folder and I have my AI folder and whatnot so that I don't have to like try and find all that information all the time. Because yeah, I don't do that. But also having like just a really simple Word document, you know, and you
Hmm.
can write them all down if you want. If you really, really don't want to do technology, you can write them down. But trust me, that's really long. It's easier just to copy and paste them into a document.
Unless you use like a link shortener, in which case, still copying and pasting it to somebody who wants it is a lot easier than typing it out.
Yeah, and you kind of do want to have a link shortener, but again, they're free. What Bitly is a free one. I think Rebrandly is another one where it just takes it, it shortens it down, and then you can usually customize the last little bit. And then that way it's a nice short link instead of this whole, big long thing with your name and a number at the end of it. It makes it a little bit better. So, and it just makes it easier for you. So it's one less thing that you have to try and figure out.
Yep. And then funnels. We use funnels a lot in digital marketing. You've probably subscribed to one or been on one without even realizing it. So like websites that have a pop up, like, oh, give us your email for 10% off. Like that's a funnel step. They're just trying to get your email so that they can send you the discount, but then they can also send you when stuff's going on sale and follow ups and stay in your scope of vision basically. And it can be as simple as an info page and then do you want more information on this? Give me your email. Or, like a blog review of this really cool product. Are you interested in purchasing as well? Click the link. Things like that. So funnels do not have to be super complicated. I mean, we've all seen the ones that, the first page has like a scroll depth of 100 and there's a lot of information that's really not necessary. And a lot of people don't even read them because it's just a lot of noise. But, funnels don't have to be that. Some of the most successful funnels are just a simple, like, are you ready to change your life? Give me your email.
Yeah. And then to get even more simple than that, Facebook. Facebook is a funnel, right? You have your cover image that says who you are and what you do. They click on it. There's some more information on the side with your link. You've got your bio, which again links them to wherever you want to go. And then any other information is there in your feeds, for Instagram or Threads or TikTok, and also what is it called now? X, if you still want to use that. That's going to be your bio, right? It's going to be your bio. Instagram, you have your little, you can have your little sections where you can, make things clean, make them kind of neat and stuff like that. But really, that's your funnel is, they go to your page, they see you, they get an idea of what it is that you're offering. And then there's a link for them to be able to either access it or sign up for a newsletter or whatever it is that you want them to do. Very simple funnel without the website if you're not ready for that.
Yep. And your content can be super simple as well, right? So, like, oftentimes we think about videos and we're like, oh, we have to be really salesy or do the sham wow impersonation, like kind of thing. If you're not techie or if you're just not that personality type, that's fine. honest product reviews of a product you love. Your authenticity is what's going to sell it. How-to guides on things like software and things like that, or even comparing StreamYard versus EVMux, or that's not actually the way I was going to go with that, but that's just what came out. Things like that, right? Of like which one's better. And then of course, just sharing personal stories. You see this a lot in the health and fitness, right? Like think weight loss. Like weight loss sells off of people's personal stories.
Well, yeah, because the people are there for the transformation, right? Especially when it comes to physical health or mental health. They want to see your before and after. They want to know that you are actually walking the walk before you're talking the talk. So that's super helpful. And then your calls to action are very simple as well. Like you can engage them by saying, well, what's your favorite this or that? Or, if you're selling a product, you have, or what do you need? Or what are you looking for? Very simple. Or, reach out to me if you want more information, or, get them to ask a question, or however that works. It doesn't always have to be link in bio, buy my shit, right?
Well, especially with ManyChat, right? Like you can comment free and I'll send you, and then you just automate it to where it sends the free download or whatever it is and starts the conversation. I had one that was kind of cool. She was a fitness coach, and her whole thing is like she used to eat like 1,700 calories, and now she's eating like 2,500 calories to reach her goals because she figured out, whatever. And I was like, all right, I'm just curious what her. So I went through her whole questionnaire, which was all automated, and it was very like transparent that it was automated, which I found interesting. And at the end, it was like, well, would you benefit? Do you think you'd benefit from one-on-one coaching? And I was like, no, I was just curious. But like that allows the follow-up without her having to be there, like sending each link and whatnot. So there's a lot of free automation tools that are very easy to set up to help with that as well.
And I mean, every step that you take towards getting more comfortable, so you start with wherever you are. So if it really is all you have is like a Facebook page, right? You've got your simple little tiny, 200 friends on your Facebook profile, and it's a personal profile. First of all, if you're going to get into any kind of online marketing, you have to get comfortable with having it out there. Unless there's like a really strong reason why you don't want to connect the two, use your personal profile, go in, change your settings to professional, and then start building it out from there. And that means, having a professional cover, something that looks good, something that says what you're doing, and understand that your friends and family, if they really don't want to see it, they don't have to, right? Like you don't have to lose those connections simply because, and don't be embarrassed about it either. You're trying to do something for yourself. You're trying to move forward. So don't be embarrassed about that. Own that. That's your power. You're doing something for you, and hopefully something that will help you and benefit your family or your friends or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So don't let other people's small thinking make you small.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And you don't have to super niche down when it comes to like your bio or your cover photo or anything like that as well. You can be three-dimensional because you are three-dimensional, right? So like I've had a couple of marketers who are like, your cover photo isn't really specific. And I was like, well, it is. It's just specific to my top 3 themes that I'm all about, because I'm not using it strictly for one theme. Like I really don't use mine to lead gen that much, to be honest. I just use it to share fun videos and, stuff like that.
Yep.
But, I have other pages that are specific to my other interests. If they don't, because some people that are interested in ice baths are not interested in dog training. So, I do both. If you want specific content on one or the other, here's the pages to follow, but I'm not going to one-dimensionalize myself.
Yeah, and that's a good way to build a page. You start with what you have, build up your own profile, and then you create a page, and you can actually move people over there. You can invite people who are on your page, on your profile, that you would rather be working, looking at a very, just this page. You can move them over there, and they're not going to be offended by that. You just invite them, and either they'll go or they won't. I think we really need to, when you're doing this, especially if you're really uncomfortable with the technology and really uncomfortable with putting yourself out there and all those kinds of things, is to remember everybody has a choice. They don't have to go, they don't have to watch, they don't have to do any of those things. And it's okay. Like, you don't have to worry about being perfect. You don't have to worry about any of those things. You're doing something. How many people do nothing and then complain because they've got nothing, right? So you're doing something. So be proud of that and don't hide that. And don't worry about if you have a misstep here or there. That's so small and not important.
Yeah.
Rant. I see too many people are like, I don't want anybody to know. And it's like, well, then how are you going to build yourself? You know?
Yeah.
And
I
then
think they fall into the trap of like disappear for 6 months and then come back successful. And it's like, it doesn't necessarily, like, you
how
don't
does
come
that,
back successful within like that time frame without doing something though. Like you have 6 months to build your skills, sure, and to get the education, but success comes from doing.
yeah. Yep. And also, so does confidence, right? You start off
Hmm.
small, you start off learning one piece of tech, and then you build upon that, and then that you keep that curiosity going, and you learn more, and you grow more, and you add more, and you do more, and before you know it, you're very proficient. But it didn't happen overnight. And yeah, if you disappeared for 6 months and then you came back, boom, all of a sudden you're like this, oh, I'm a guru. And it's like, I have questions. Where were you guruing? And there's a lot of free tech out there, so you don't have to invest heavily before you
Hmm.
even get started, right? So you've got like Canva, which has, if you're not design savvy, it's great. It's got lots of templates and stuff like that. You do have to sift because like it does have paid pieces and non-paid pieces, but whatever, you're just starting out. So you just sift. CapCut has a free version, which has a lot of little options in it, right?
Yeah.
What else is there? There's the like for stock photos, you've got Pexels, Pixabay, Upsplash. A lot of them actually, like your Medium hooks up to Upsplash. So again, you don't even have to think; it's right there for you. So if you want to insert an image, it lets you search it, and you can just pop it in. You don't actually have to go and search it outside of that. So again,
Did not
making
know
it
that.
super easy for you. Yeah. What's another free one? Oh, System.io
Hmm.
has a free thing if you want to build a funnel. If you think you're strong enough and ready to do that, you can go to System.io and create a funnel for free and collect emails for free. So little things like that.
And not just funnels, you can build out a course, you can build out a blog, you can build out, there's a lot of stuff you can actually build out in the free system IO.
There is quite a bit. Um, the one thing that you would have to pay for would be like a domain name, but I mean, there's lots of them out there. I have two different ones. One I paid $12.99 for the year, and the other one I pay $1 a month for a domain name and a professional email. So there's plenty of them out there where you don't have to spend a crap ton. And then for
Yeah.
scheduling posts, you can either use what's available in your social medias, or you can get something like Hootsuite, which goes to a lot. And the nice thing about Hootsuite, I will say, is it allows you to post to your personal profiles. They don't have to be business profiles in order for it to work. Whereas some of the other ones, it needs to be business. Whereas with Hootsuite, it doesn't have to be a business profile.
Zoho's a really good free email service as well, because you don't really want to send from a Gmail. It doesn't look professional.
No.
But Zoho is a good free
Oh, that's
service.
nice.
I do pay for it. I think it's like $15 for the year. It's pretty, and there's a lot you can build out in Zoho that like I'm not even utilizing. But it's just a really good way to make sure that you have a clean email and that it's going, it's actually getting delivered and things like that.
That would be one thing I would suggest if you're going to be collecting emails to build out a list that you want to send to, is opt for a professional email address, not a Gmail
Hmm.
address, not a Yahoo, not whatever else is out there. Get a professional one because you'll have a lot less issues when you do start trying to send emails or, get an autoresponder or whatever. Yeah. So that would be something I would actually invest in. But again, down the line when you're ready, because
Yeah.
you don't have to do all of this at once.
Yeah, for sure. And then, everyone wants the blow up, but the blow up comes from small, consistent steps. So, start small, focus on one platform. I hate this advice for most people, but it does work really well for, again, someone who's not savvy. When I first got an Instagram, I was just basically cross posting from my Facebook because I had no idea how to use Instagram. Now I say Instagram is probably my favorite platform for videos just because I really like their editors and their filters and things like that. But, start with one. Facebook, again, is a great one because it will cross post to Instagram without having to get any kind of software for it. And then outsource, right? Like if you really don't understand some piece of tech and you have the capital, hire a VA for some of that stuff. Now be careful because Meta is cracking down on a lot of the bot stuff and is sometimes recognizing VAs as bots. But if it's, if you're fine filming videos, but you don't want to edit them, that's a really easy thing to hire out.
Yeah, I
Or if you
mean,
just
that's
really
what
don't
Fiverr and
understand.
all of those are for, right? You go on and
Exactly.
find somebody or just find groups, either on Facebook or find on Instagram. Just search up what you need and you'll find people who are doing it, or post up and say, I'm looking for someone who does this. Do you have any suggestions? And then you can reach out to the people specifically. Say, if you've got somebody that you really truly trust, let me know.
Yeah. And then, of course, analyze. Like, right? We talk about this all the time because it's so important. Look at your post reach. Look at your engagement. Look at where your demographic is. Like all the any analytic you have access to. Look at it because that'll give you a clear direction of where to take your content. Or just if you're not going to change your content because you're like me and you're like this is who I am, take it or leave it. It still at least tells you like which stuff people are more interested in. For our
Mhm.
YouTube channel, we used it for some reason, our dogs get a lot of views in New York. So our first short in the morning goes out at the time that most people in New York could be kind of getting ready for work or like waiting to leave, maybe on the subway and doom scrolling because that just works. So you
Makes sense.
can use it strategically to schedule. Huh?
Yeah, that makes sense for me because I'm starting to gear my content a lot more to people who are midlife, especially
Mm-hmm.
midlife women, better in the evenings or very, very early because
Mm-hmm.
their days are stacked, right? So, when are they going to have the time for themselves?
Yep.
So, yeah,
That's why a lot of times you'll see Pinterest, like they'll tell you to schedule between 4 and 6 or like 5 a.m. and 8 a.m.
yeah,
because same thing, Pinterest is usually a demographic of women and
yeah.
typically older.
And we're busy, man. And yeah, and most platforms, like I'd said before, like the same with the scheduling, they also have tracking. So your social
Mm-hmm.
media all has trackers. I know that Bitly also tracks your links, so you can
Yep.
see. I know Linktree does as well, so you can see what people are doing. So it's most of them have it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the most important part is keeping it human. No matter how much tech you have, you still have to keep it human, right? So make
Yes.
sure you reply to your questions in the comments and try to get people into back and forth. And then yeah, be transparent. So you let people know you earn commissions because it lets them build trust, and it doesn't hurt to say your support helps. So like your friends and family, like I really appreciate it because the reality is that when you are going into online marketing, odds are your biggest support and most of your customers, especially in the beginning, are going to be people you don't know. Because I don't know why it is, but friends and family are difficult sells. I don't really understand that because they should be your biggest cheerleaders, but they rarely are. So just acknowledge that. Don't be hurt by that. It's just for whatever reason they have more skepticism.
Oh yeah, my family's always like, "Oh, she's doing what now?" Like, "Oh, okay." Like, and it's
Yeah.
okay, it's fine.
Yeah, whatever. And it's weird. And you know what? It doesn't matter what business you do. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, really? Well, how are you going to do that? Especially if it's online because I think they just don't have that tangible, right? So they just can't, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then of course
Especially
as
your
always,
email. When people hear that you're making money online, assume OnlyFans. Hey.
yeah, I was just going to say they think you're selling feet pictures or something.
Yeah.
Which by the way, the people who do that make boku cash. So whatever.
Yeah, good for
You
them.
do you, girl. Rake it in. So, and then of course, share value, right? No matter what you're posting, no matter where you're posting, no matter how you're building out your business, what tech you're using, always lead with value because you get what you give, right? So if you're just giving up crap, you're going to get back crap. So,
Yep. Yeah, the first pair of actual athletic leggings, not just like fun Halloween leggings that I bought, I specifically bought because there was a creator who I absolutely adore, and she had partnered with a brand, and like, I bought them literally just to help her out because I think she's awesome. So
that's nice,
it
right?
works, right? Like, there are going to be strangers out there who think that you are the shit, and they're going to absolutely be willing to help you out.
That's yeah, that's good. I mean, that's what that's what you're aiming for. You're trying to reach people whether that's for physical products, but it goes for all products, right? Like, whether it's digital products or services or coaching or education, it doesn't really matter. If you provide value, eventually people are going to want to they're going to share your stuff just simply because. All right. So I think that is actually pretty much it for today.
Wrapping up a year of
I
podcasts.
know, isn't that exciting?
It's so
Um, since-
crazy.
yeah. So since how about affiliate marketing through educational content?
That
Because
is your jam.
yeah, well, because I figure we talk about a lot about how to utilize that educational content because there's a lot of educational content out there, but when you're building out your educational content, whether it's short Facebook posts or longer videos, it's really important not to be super boring because no one will listen to what you have to say. It's
True.
called
Very true.
edutainment for a reason, right? So,
Yes. And it can cover multiple niches. So,
yes, absolutely. Because even just how to use products. As always, if you guys felt that this was helpful, please drop a comment. If you are watching this, share, like, if you think somebody else would find this useful, obviously send them over the information. Your feedback is super helpful for us. All right.
yes.
So be sure to drop a comment. Let us know what you think.
If you just found us, you can go on the YouTube channel and watch a whole year's worth now of Donna and I discussing what we love.
Absolutely. And if there's anything that specific that you would like us to talk about, by all means, again, drop it in the comments because we're here to try and help you. That's the whole purpose.
Yes.
That's it. All
Enjoy
right.
your
Happy Friday,
Friday.
everyone. Have a fabulous weekend.